Ring the bell, my man, Jazz Foundation. Ring that bell. Hit the button or slam the gavel. Do something. Markets are closed. Broad wall, 4 o'clock. Markets closed. All right, he doesn't want to do it. All right, I'll do it for you. Ding, 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 ding. Markets are closed. Therefore, we are open for business right here. There, he finally did it. He finally did it. Oh, look, our market very, very quiet today. Subdued because a lot of things are going on in the market. Tomorrow morning, the Fed's going to come up. Bureau of Labor Statistics is going to come out with the inflation number. So the consumer price index, and then the producer price index, 2 days back to back, will give us a sense of inflation. With oil, $64 a barrel, my guess is inflation is going to stay tame. Last month, it was surprisingly low. They expected higher inflation. It was low because oil prices went down. It's been flat for a month. We've been talking about it every single day. It's been in the $62 to $65 range. I'm guessing inflation will be flat, probably won't go up. Hopefully goes down a little bit. Not sure if it will. The VIX. Also, a couple other things they're looking at. Right now, Scott Bessent is talking with the Chinese counterparts about their big trade deal. So that's on the table. That's ongoing. The markets want to know, do we have a deal for trade with China? It would be a huge piece of information for them. Meanwhile, let's take a look at our White House correspondent, senior White House correspondent, Brian Glenn is in that. That's his camera in there right now. That's a live shot, right, Mad Dog? That's a live shot in a helicopter. Oh, that's Ben. In the helicopter, in a chopper, headed to, I guess, where was this, a look-see over top of Fort Bragg? Is that what that is, Ben? Is that what we're hearing?
Yeah, I believe we're flying over Fort Bragg right now, and they're doing a military demonstration for Trump.
Right, and we had seen that they were showing some of the military, some of the assets that we are so proud and that we've paid for, and they're showing him all the assets. They're showing him various troops and various vehicles, assets, and right now Glenn is getting a tour over the top of that while Trump is in a viewing stanchion with a bunch of people and a bunch of dignitaries, is what we're understanding. About right, Ben? If you have more information, shoot it over.
No, I believe that's correct.
Cool. All right. Well, it's pretty cool. We'll keep an eye on that, and if we get Brian on the ground and he gets to a camera, we'll bring him in. We'll find out what exactly he was doing there. All right, so what is this party of peace? This party of peace, these Democrat progressive leftists up to? Same old, same old?
Yeah, baby! Go, go, go!
I see a little riot with a sprinkling of insurrection. Oh, how about a side salad of "We hate America" on the left, don't we?
We don't agree with the term illegal. We're undocumented. We've been here for thousands of years before you guys showed up, screw up everything. We think we should organize together with the U.S. working class and fight together and create a better system. We're anti-capitalist. We think socialism does work, real socialism, not Venezuela, not Cuba, not any of that crap that they try to sell us as socialism. And we believe it would be a more humane system that will take care of most of all people's necessities.
Is there a country we can look to kind of model the socialism idea?
The only model would be Soviet Union.
Oh, yeah, let's model after the Soviet Union. Let's bring a little Soviet communism right here and import it, right? The left has lost its damn mind supporting any of this garbage. What we're witnessing is a deliberate and steady takedown of Western civilization, starting right here in America. The left wants people to believe that the Trump administration is somehow responsible for the dystopian images that we're seeing in Los Angeles right now. It's classic leftist deflection. It's classic leftist attempt at a rewrite of what's really happening, as Gavin Newsom has become the face of something he shouldn't want to be the face of, and yet here we are. The Marines are headed in. They've been deployed. They've already been deployed. They promised to defend America against enemies, both foreign and domestic. It's in their charter, foreign and domestic. This isn't the National Guard. These are active duty Marines, badasses, my friends. They are going to get things fixed. Those people over there, they're the enemy and will be treated as such. Unfortunately, some of them are going to be Americans. It's simple. A majority of Americans voted for President Trump. That same majority, and then some, support deportations. Overwhelmingly support deportations. They want the illegals out of the country. A resounding majority of this country wants this invasion to be done with. Here, there is a federal mandate. We gave it to Trump. Karen Bass, however, and Gavin Newsom and more of their leftist clown posse are getting in the way of that mandate that we gave Trump. That's punishable. At least I believe it is. Oh, wait, Hillary Clinton has something to say. Oh, doesn't she always? And I'm quoting Hill Shady. Quote, California Governor Newsom didn't request a National Guard be deployed to his state following peaceful demonstrations. Trump sent them anyway. It's the first time in 60 years a president has made that choice. Trump's goal isn't to keep Californians safe. His goal is to cause chaos because chaos is good for Trump. Number one, not true. National Guard was sent in 1992 and math, that's only 33 years ago. And now they're sent in precisely because Newsom failed to keep his own people safe. Number two, they should have been sent in 2020. Number three, peaceful demonstration. By the way, 2020, George Floyd protests, they should have been used then. Number three, peaceful demonstrations, not on your life. Open your eyes. Admit what you see. It's violence everywhere. These are riots. Cars are burning. Buildings are on fire. Cops are getting bricks thrown in their face. And they're impeding a federal operation. Finally, number four, maybe sit this one out, Hill. Maybe just sit down and shut the hell up. Two-time presidential loser. You left Americans to die in Benghazi on your watch. You're sure as hell know a damn thing about keeping anyone safe. Not at all.
The fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make?
Well, if it weren't for President Trump, I shudder to think that that one could have been president. Hey, Gavin Newsom, did you know that the protesters see this as a revolution? They see this as a taking back their land.
They're here already. They don't want to leave.
Why are they protesting what's going on here in the United States if they don't want to go back to their country?
Because they think it's like it's stolen land.
Well, still not convinced. Listen to what one of the organizers of these anti-ICE protests has to say. He's saying it loud and proud.
So for us as indigenous people to these lands, to this continent, this is nothing new. The military going after us is nothing new. The United States and this part of the country is a result of a military invasion of Mexico. And so we know what's coming. It's more repression, but what they have to know is that they're also going to face more resistance from the community. We don't want to be violent and we don't advocate for violence, but when they use brutal violence against our people and kidnapping mothers and fathers from children is violent. When they do things like that, we have every right, every historic right to defend our communities by any ways that we can.
So what does that actually mean when military-aged men all come together, angry at the country they're living in, feeling like the land they're standing on belongs to them originally? Well, when they get violent, assemble, attack police officers, federal officers, lighting cars on fire and waving their own country's flags while burning American flags, what the hell does that mean? Insurrection? I think so. Would you maybe say, I don't know, maybe that is some sort of domestic threat? Wouldn't you think so? Would you maybe say these are invaders after all? We were right. What exactly does it take to see that, a fully armed uprising? Because you see, I thought the very point was to avoid that situation altogether. There's a reason the Marines are going in, because that's the threat level reached because of your inability to govern and protect Gavin and Karen Bass. No, they're not all of them. There are a few actual protesters in the mix, but a lot of these people, most of these people are paid for. There are groups paying for these agitators. But all it takes is a few dozen angry, violent rioters to create the type of situation that warrants military protection. And this is exactly where we are right now. Even if they try their hardest to convince America and the world otherwise, and here's the thing, Gavin loves the drama. In fact, once upon a time, not too long ago, 5 years ago, in fact, Gavin Newsom brought in the National Guard to help carry out what? Oh, that thing he believes in, COVID testing. But when it comes to defending his own citizens against tyranny, against an invasion, not so much. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Dwight Eisenhower, Lyndon Johnson, George H.W. Bush only, all have had to put down violent rebellions. All have sent in troops to defend and preserve our laws and the Constitution. It's rare, but it's a necessary option that a president can and should use. Make no mistake about it. That option is needed now. We're not only dealing with an invasion, we're dealing with an entire political party that's more than willing to support and uphold that invasion and protect it. That's not going to fly, not in America, and not with President Trump in the Oval Office. Democrats have learned nothing on immigration. They've learned nothing on crime. Looters are breaking into Apple stores. They're stealing sneakers. What does it have to take? What does it take to make them realize this has nothing to do with protesting ICE? Nothing. They're just in a city that loves crime and criminals, run by a party that helps crime thrive and criminals protects them. Their own policies have led to the chaos that we see right now. Don't blame Trump. Blame the Democrats. Blame the progressive. Torching cars, looting businesses, occupying a major freeway a couple of times, attacking law enforcement and immigration officers with rocks, bricks, and fireworks. How about instead of suing the president for doing his job to protect and defend Americans, Gavin Newsom, how about you come out of your ivory freaking tower wearing your brand new kicks that you're so proud of on TikTok and actually defend your own state citizens? You know, do your damn job. Remember, Antifa and all of their extremists took over the protests over George Floyd's death in 2020. Or anti-Israel protests at the University of California that turned bloody. Or remember how, after the Dodgers won the World Series last year, the celebrations were very quickly deteriorated into looting, setting buses on fire, attacking police officers. How quickly you forget, Gavin. Support lawlessness, and that's what you get, more lawlessness. This is the find out portion of the festivities. FAFO. Gavin wanted his sanctuary city, he got it. He passed benefits from actual citizens to illegals, and he's now reaping the rewards, the fallout of that generosity. The people he worked so hard to defend are now tearing up his city. Let that be a lesson, except it won't be a lesson. It never is. Gavin Newsom thinks Americans will forget his failures. This year, wildfires, and now Summer of Love 2.0. But Americans, well, we don't forget. We'll remind him. He can live in his little echo chamber of awesomeness, but Americans know that he himself is responsible for the disorder that they see. Newsom can cry the usual Democrat BS about Trump being an authoritarian for sending in the National Guard. It's called leadership, Gavin. You should try it sometime. Will Americans want the guy who supported violent invaders or the guy who wanted daily peace for Americans? And now there are protests, what? Louisiana? Dallas, in Tampa, where some MAGA-minded folks had to rise up against protests there. New York, Chicago, rumblings there too. The point is to stop them in their tracks before they spread like cancer. For lack of a better word, or like wildfires, California. Get it? California should set an example, but they chose not to. Instead, they chose to set the fire. Well, President Trump will handle that for now. Oh, and the Mexican president wants us to leave Mexican illegals alone? Sure, no problem. Tell you what, take them back to your own country, where they belong, where they came from. Enjoy them. Enough games, enough appeasing, enough is enough with all of that. Send them back to where they belong. Stop letting even a single person in illegally, and let's figure out the mess so we can move forward as a country once and for all. We'll be back 2.5 minutes.